Hi students, welcome to today's session. In our today's session we are going to see about joining allowances, edge stiffening by wiring, wiring allowance. Let's move into the topic. Objectives. At the end of this topic you shall be able to state what is a joining allowances. Allowance for grooved joints. Allowance for double grooved joints. Allowance for pan down and knocked up joints. Let's see about joining allowances. When making self-secured joints or seams, it is necessary to provide material for the preparation of the edges and seams. The extra material is called an allowance. Let's see about joining allowances types. Allowance for grooved joints or seams. Allowance for double grooved seam or joint. Let's see about allowance for grooved joints or seams. The allowance for a grooved seam is the width of the seam plus 3 times the thickness of the sheet. The final completed width of the joint, G, is equal to W plus 3T. Let's see about allowance for double grooved seam or joint. The complete allowance for the double grooved seam or joint will be 4 times the width of the folded edge, plus 4 times the thickness of the metal. Let's see about allowance for pan down and knocked up joints. The size of pan down and knocked up joints is determined by the width of the single folded edge. P represents the size of the pan down joint. Allowance for P is equal to 2W plus 2T. K represents the size of the knocked up joint. Allowance for K is equal to 2W plus 3T. Let's see the question session for this topic. Try to answer the following question in 10 seconds. What is the complete allowance for a single grooved seam? Option A, 2W plus 2T. Option B, W plus 3T. Option C, 2W plus 3T. Option D, W minus 3T. Your time starts now. I think you are right. The correct answer is option B, W plus 3T. Let's move to the next topic. Objectives. At the end of this topic you shall be able to state what is types of edge stiffening method, methods of edge stiffening by wiring, solid wiring and false wiring. Let's see about edge stiffening by wiring. Types of edge stiffening methods. Edge stiffening is done by wiring, hemming, flanging, curling, beading, gutting, ribbing. We are going to see about the methods of edge stiffening by wiring. Solid wiring, false wiring. In solid wiring, sheet metal edges are wrapped around the wire and wires are kept permanent in place. This is generally called simple wiring. In false wiring, sheet metal edges are wrapped around the wire. After forming final shape, the wire is removed from the edge to retain it hollow. Let's see the advantages of false wiring. In addition to advantages by wiring, false wiring gives following advantages. Cost of the article is reduced. Weight of the article is also reduced. Let's see the application of false wiring in sheet metal articles like trunks, boxes, etc. Wiring is done only at the corners of the adjacent sides and the remaining portion of the wired edge is kept hollow. This helps to maintain the sides in position. Try to answer the following question in 10 seconds. In which wiring method, wires are kept permanent in place with sheet metal edges? Option A, false wiring. Option B, hemming. Option C, flanging. Option D. Solid wiring. Your time starts now. I think you are right. The correct answer is option D. Solid wiring. Objectives. At the end of this topic you shall be able to state what is wiring allowance. Determination of wiring allowances. Let's see about wiring allowance. Wiring allowance is nothing but the amount of additional length provided on sheet metal to wrap around the wire to make a wired edge. Wiring allowance is determined by the following formula. Wiring allowance is equal to 2.5 into D plus T, where D is equal to diameter of wire, T is equal to thickness of sheet metal. Try to answer the following question in 10 seconds. What does the term D denotes in below formula? Option A. Diameter of wire. Option B. Distance of wire. Option C. Thickness of sheet metal. Option D. Length of wire. Your time starts now. I think you are right. The correct answer is option A. Diameter of wire. I think you have gained a plenty of knowledge from today's topic. That's the end of week 16 topics. Thank you. For queries, visit www.nimelearningonline.in/moodle.